Hey, it's Dan, and welcome to Unified Gaming. So today guys, we're going to be doing some PvP, setting things up and showing subclassing in action on the live server. There's a lot to go through, but it's fun and it's quite insane what you can now do. I will spend probably the first part of the video just setting up some builds, showing you stuff I've been coming up with, and yeah, and just going to kind of give you tips and tricks, and we'll spend probably about 15 minutes doing that. So, we are on the Sorcerer today, and for people curious who have not played with subclassing yet on the live server or on console maybe, subclassing is accessed over here in Anchorage at Evermore, and what I've been doing over the past week is leveling up the skill lines. So when you subclass, what you'll notice is that lots of your skill lines, so for example start at level 1, even if you've got a character level 50. They did change how that worked, which is really frustrating. But it does mean that we've had to go through and level loads and loads of stuff up. The thing is that once you've done it once, it's available for all characters at level 50, so, you know, every cloud. But with that in mind, it means that for the past couple weeks, I've been like leveling things up. So this is all 50, this is all 50, this is all 50, that's 50 there, this is 50 here. So you can only do one at a time from each class, which is a bit slow. So I've been spending the past week literally grinding this out to make builds and videos. So it does take a bit of time. So just do note that, which has meant that I haven't had time to actually like put the gear on the build itself. So that's what I'm going to do for the first part of the stream. What we are on here is a Sorcerer, which I want to turn into my Nightblade Sniper. So you may remember the Bowgank. The Bowgank is fantastic. I absolutely love the build. It is like my favorite build to date. And with the changes with subclassing, we can take what is a really broken build and make it better still. So that's what we're going to do for the first part of the video. I also have a few other options as well, which I've been working on a magical Warden behind the scenes. So something I want to check. I haven't been able to like try it fully, but I've got an idea of what sets to use, what skills, how it will look. So I'm really excited about that as well. I'm going to reset all of my skills though for this. So you've got a brand new set of points, so it's 73 points to work with. And what you'll see very quickly with subclassing is you use your skill points incredibly fast. So we're going to play as a sniper on this build, and the aim of this build is to essentially kill people as quick as we can, abusing proc sets, abusing subclassing, and you just get a crazy amount of damage. So with that said, I'm just going to pull up my things. So I've got my notes because I did write down what sets I wanted to put on there and skills and stuff. So what we're going to probably do is use the following. From the Sorcerer line, we're going to use Crystal Weapon. Crystal Weapon is incredibly special. It's a melee skill, which means it procs from stealth. Sorry, it procs the stun from stealth. So when we're sneaking, because we're in sneak, if you attack something with a melee skill, it stuns them. For some reason, this skill here counts as a melee skill, even with a bow, which means we've now got a ranged stun, which is fantastic. It's a good amount of damage too. Also, as a sorcerer, we can access Scribing, which I do need to do on this character if I recall, yeah? And we can get access to the class mastery, which gives us more damage, which means this becomes one of the best spammables in the game. So I'm going to go over to Skingrad, and I'm going to quickly do the Scribing quest just to get the stuff needed for this. Same says it's a rainy day. Yeah, it is it's a bit wet in the UK, to say the least. We've got thunder and lightning where we are. So the plan is that we're going to have a crystal weapon here. We are then going to pair this with a Camo Hunter from the Fighters Guild. So we might need to level that up a little bit. We're going to have from our Sorcerer skill line, Bolt Escape, which we can change to Streak if we want. We are going to use Overload. And I'm going to use the Energy Overload, which gives us resources. So that's always nice. We are also going to go and access the Cloak. So this takes 2, so this is actually really expensive skill point wise. On the bat bar, we're going to get Race Against Time, so we may need to buy the Sigil Order. Let's do that quickly. And the reason I'm doing it on this character rather than something else is simply because I don't want to ruin my Nightblade. I'm going to have to race change this. So let's go to Utility. It might be upgrades even. We're looking for Sigil Order because we do need access to the skill there. So that's 3,000 crowns there, which is very depressing. But our Sigil Order is now level 10. So this is going to go here. We will use momentum when this levels to level 38. And I will put on Defenses rune over here. Put that in the front bar. Put that front bar. And then we need momentum there. Scribing there. Scribing there if you wish. And then there. The other option we can do, which I was messing around with, was also lightning form. And then you can put like hurricane for the speed here. So I've got a few different options to things we can do with this. How are people finding subclassing, by the way? I will as well looking at what I need to do on this character itself. I think this one might take a bit longer than I would like. Just looking at, I need to get that to 38. Need to morph that. I've got the sets already in the bank. The sets are ready to go. So I might do this bit and then switch to the Magden, because that's something I can actually set up right now. And I've got all the stuff for that and loads of skill points. But I didn't want to level up a new Sorcerer. So this is like the only one I can do, and I didn't want to race change my current Assault. So what I'll do is I'll do the subclass, the Scribing skill line here. And then what I'll do is I'll put a poll up to see which thing do you want us to set up first, because I've been spending the past week leveling things, but I haven't done PvP. There are so many weird and wacky things out there at the moment, which is great. I'm just putting a poll up to see what thing you want me to like set up on the live, and it would take a while whatever we pick, but I'm going to kind of like do this and then jump into PvP and show some of the stuff we can do. So I've got 3 things which are I can do. The Magden's really quick. The new Magical Warden has got a really big like change to it, which I'm really excited about. And I'm kind of trying to go back to the old school Magical Warden. So if you ever played a Magical Warden back in the day, who know exactly what I mean with the, like, stacking the magicka and the shields. Alright, we're just waiting to do this little thing and then we can skip through. Alright, so we've got the stuff here. Yeah, so for anybody joined us, what we're doing is I'm just doing a bit of like kind of housekeeping stuff I have to do anyway. I've been spending the past week just grinding all my subclassing. So like almost all of my subclass skill lines are at level 50 now, which is amazing. But it has taken, I said I've done it every day for like the past 4 days. I do have a video coming out there on the channel to show how to do it. I got it down to about 40 minutes of skill line, which was really quick. So I was quite happy with that in the end. So we're just going to just run past all of this stuff. You don't need to go into this. So yeah, I think we're in this Scalarium. The poll at the moment is kind of which one should we set up the most. The sniper is going to take the longest to set up. I'm just telling you that now. It's going to be like 3 times the setup time as, say, the Archmage or the Magdan. The Archmage is like pretty much ready to go. So I'm leaning towards that already, as you can imagine. So we've almost done this. But yeah, how are people doing today? What are your thoughts on the subclass? And I've seen a few videos come out recently. Some are very like, so they're interesting to see like what people putting together. Yeah, so we're just closing these doors. We're going to go up the top and then do the quest. And we're only doing this just because we need access to the spammable. So just waiting for the crow to come. Do. I love how you can do like light attack overload with crystal weapon. Yeah, I'll grab this. And then we've given this stream, you know, about 15 minutes or so for people to find it. And then we can obviously jump onto a build set up and actually go into PvP quite quick. So on physical damage, we're at class mastery there in breach. So this is like the best spammable. So we'll just complete this quest and then the vendor should appear. Okay, so hopefully the Fernando appears down the bottom now. And then we can go in here, grab the script we need. And that gives us like the really, there he is. Let's grab all these out. And just quickly use all these up. I'll grab that too. I'm just gonna get some money out of the bank quick. So we want the class mastery. That is like the main one for us. All these ones that are 10 gold are the mage guild ones that you can just buy now, which is really, really good. That was a good change they made. So yeah, on the gank build, and this is, in my opinion, the best base class for any kind of gank, is that you are trying to stack damage, as we all know. And the Sorcerer, because they have access to this bonus damage on their class mastery, it means this becomes like the best spammable in the game. It hits ridiculously hard because you get that bonus bit of damage. So what happens is when we have a fully buffed up build, this ends up becoming about a 15,000 tooltip total, which is really, really high for a range skill. Not incredibly high. It's not normally that high. So this is a really good skill. We then need a skill for our damage, which I'll put on Rally in a second. We've got contingency. I might need to get some scripts out the bank in a moment. And then I will go and pick up a class in the next minute or so from the poll on which one to set up. Where's contingency? I thought I picked up contingency. Maybe I didn't. That's up there. There it is. So Warrior's Opportunity, brilliant for what we want to do. Healing as our burst heal into the enemy gen. That is literally the perfect gank skill we need. So this is amazing to have this like in the shop straight away. Where's our mage guild? If you can't. Okay, we've got to join the mage guild to use the mage guild. That's a really big oversight from them. Okay, let's go here. We'll join the mage guild quickly. Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be between the Magdalene or the Archmage. So I'm probably going to go on the Sorcerer, I think. My plan for the Magical Warden, for people curious, is to go down the old school Max Magicka route with really high shields. So if you played Magical Warden in the past, you used to use Harness Magicka, and your shield would basically take the damage, whilst your Living Trellis heals you as you take damage. So you end up getting like passive healing, whilst the shield just is there to be beaten on. And it worked really well as a combo for like survivability. Because your shield was basically the burst heal, your Trellis was like the nice heal over time, stroke pseudo burst heal, and then together was fantastic. You can normally join the Mage Guild here. There we go. There's our contingency. So that's our burst heal. So the plan on the sniper, for people curious, yes, we have to be a vampire, by the way, is because we got access to a crystal weapon, we can use this and then heavy attack into Sunder and Soul. These hit incredibly hard as a pair. You can also put cloak in the combo. So what you end up doing is essentially this, cloak, heavy attack, and then Sunder and Soul. And you do this with a bow. This will pop really hard, landing all three at once and sets and so on. It's really, really nasty damage. The defensive runes are there as like a, if we make a mistake, we stun them back, which is great. So it's a layer of defense. And then this Hurricane is here just for a speed boost. We don't actually need the armor. But yeah, I'm going to switch character now because we've given the people 20 minutes to find the stream. And looking at the poll, it's between the Sulk and the Warden. So I'm going to go on the Sorcerer. And then we'll set that up really fast and jump into PvP. So my Sorcerer is here. Arthur says W. I'm assuming that's for the win. I love Sorcerer. Sorcerer's such a good class. So we're going to leave this area, and then what we'll do is go to the altar and respec. As I explained at the start of the video, the subclassing does take a bit of time to level it up. So I would recommend for the first, week, just bash those skills out. It takes a bit of time, I understand that, but it's nicer in the sort of long run. So we're going to go to mag sort from this one, Robert. So we're going to drop one of these skill lines, and I know which ones I want to do. So I've got a build that I'm literally going to chuck on now. So this is my Archmage. This is a fantastic build. Absolutely love this build. And then what we're then going to do is we're going to go and make this better now with subclassing. I have been playing with this on PTS loads. I have also done some dueling with it and stuff. It is really nasty, the damage. So I'll literally put on the skill line we need and save it with the update. So when you come to do the subclassing, what you'll find quite quickly is that, as I explained at the start, you have to level these skill lines up. So they will all start at level 1. So it means you've got to go through every single skill line, level them manually, which I've done here, done there, done there. Not that. DK is pretty bad. But what we want to use for this one is the assassination skill line. So we're going to drop our dark magic for the assassination. This gives us access to Grim Focus, which becomes Merciless Resolve, which hits incredibly hard. Look at that damage, 22k already, and it's unbuffed. The passives are brilliant. So we now have a really, really hard hitting spammable, which is amazing, because we've got Shock and Soul. We've got Spec Bowl, which hits stupidly hard. We've got a massive shield still. Look at that, it's obscene. We have Overload. We've got Vigor. We've got Haunting Curse. We've got Surge. We've got all the usual stuff. We need to have, in my opinion, another skill to give us some sustain. So then what we use to help that, we go into the Scholarium and we make a subclass, a Scribing skill to then fix the gap of lacking the, dark conversion and dark deal. So then we're pretty much good to go. Contingency, we want healing, burst heal, tenacity for damage reduction, and intellect and endurance for regens. We're going to slot this on the back bar. So now we've got burst heal with regens, we've got vigor, good damage buff. Our spec bow with a damage buff on is a good 22,600. I'll take that. It's pretty good. Food wise, you ideally want to use our Tay pickled fish bowl. This is like the better food for Magsork in my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much the build ready. Like, we are ready to go. And magic is nice and high. It goes up even higher when we get the Death Dealers proc, which you see down here. You can put on more regen if you need a bit extra. It doesn't hurt. All max magicka. Crafty Alphic. You can drop the poisons and go for just the regen glyph, just because we got burst now. So I'll queue for Battlegrounds. I really like Battlegrounds, and we'll probably go into Cyrodiil or IC as well if we can. So I'm also going to jump into a guild house, and I will buff up just to show you the damage we have. And this will kind of help you understand how subclassing works and why you want to do, like, lean into it. So just buffing up with our Merciless Resolve, ready checks ready. I just need to put on one thing here so I can see it myself. So when we get 10 stacks, we have 4,000 spell damage, which is pretty good. Our spec bow is 25,000. I mean, like, it's obscene. It is actually obscene. And with the change, we can have 2 of those in a row. So I'm very happy with how this build is. I've been using it a little while. The sustain's good. The damage is way better than before. Because of our spammable, we can get obviously major breach here. And you can, if you want, change this to physical damage to get minor breach. And then all you do is put these as 2 stand recovery. And then that fixes that. At which point you then got major and minor breach. I quite like the magical one just because it feels like thematic with the build. But the stand one is slightly better. What's your thoughts on subclassing, guys? Do you like it or not? Okay, so I've put a quick poll up as well. We're going to go this way we are today. See if we can find anybody. Oh, speed, take that. Thank you. Dead. Yeah, love Salk. Absolutely love Salk. Salk hits so freaking hard. Oh, I'm actually gonna do the objective. That's little speed boost. He did not like that, did he? You see his health bar drop, hit him with an overload spec bow, that's half his health bar gone and the shield. Like, the damage is disgusting on this. Absolutely disgusting. Right, look at that, look at that. I don't even want to know what it's going to be like with the damage buff. He died quick, didn't he? Robert says he loves it, but doesn't know what to play. I did exactly the same issue that you did. And it's not like a bad thing. Oh, damage buff. We'll take that. Thank you very much. He's dead. So what I found with it is that you want to build a base class, which sounds really stupid. But when you got your base class set up, that's what you're always going to go against. People are used to fighting against base classes. So you need to find a way to make your build better. And so if you go down a different route, what you'll find is that you can end up making your build worse. So I typically built my build as a typical build. I then went, okay, with my typical build in place, what could I do to make this better? They're both dead. Ah, he's dead too. And so, yeah, by doing it that way, you end up getting to a point where your build is better. If you kind of go, I want to use Assassination, I want to use Animal Companions and Gravelord, you don't have an armor buff. Yeah, this is like a bloodbath, this is. I've had 10 kills so far. $8K spec bow, take that, thank you very much. They're not dropping down, I've got nobody to fight. We will just get the objective when the Reddit comes because, yeah, this is going to be a very one-sided match. But this is what I mean though with PvP. You can see so many people running random stuff, and if you don't have the optimized build, you're gonna be at a disadvantage. There's that spec bow. Look at that damage on him. That was disgusting. That was an overload and spec bow that did his health bar. If you look at the guy on the wall in a minute, because I think the thing's a couple of seconds behind. Did you hit with an overload spec bow and he goes down to like a third health from full? Jason said, you're not too bad. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Jason, but okay. Okay, well, that was a nice easy one. That was 14-0. Hopefully we get a match where it's a bit more even. That was the first match, though, in a while, so the MMR is always a bit off for the first match or two. So we'll queue again. And then what I'll do is I'll kind of do like a breakdown, kind of like how I built it, because I think this is like going to help not just Robert, but like people generally of how you make your build. Robert says, do you just light attack when you overload? So when you overload, your light attack gets replaced for big balls of lightning, and they do like 10k each. So I don't know, do I have my... Oh, I did keep it on. Sweet. That spec bow was 11,000 in that battleground against player. Overload was 5.8 crits. So that there's 16,000 with a spammable 21k in 1 second. You can put on Haunting Curse with this for another 6k, so it's literally like 28k in a second. It is so much burst. Now I know it obviously takes away from the whole frag game, but I prefer being able to just charge my spec bow and then absolutely nuke somebody with it. And what's also nice is as this charges, we get more weapon and spell damage. And because we get more weapon and spell damage, it then increases all of our other damage, which Crystal Fragments doesn't do. The Assassination skill line also has an absolute bucket ton of crit chance. Like literally crit chance, and then you get loads of crit damage. So you hit harder and you crit more, which is more burst. So it literally feels like this is the perfect line for a Sorcerer. And you have Incap if you want, which... And if you want to use Incap instead of Overload, that is completely viable. I prefer, obviously, Overload. Overload Spec Bow is really nice as a combo. I've got 20 seconds, so after this one, I'll go through and kind of show you how I did this, and then I'll try and set up my Magical Warden in about 20 minutes or so. Do a couple matches on Battlegrounds if people want on the Sulk. Is there anybody I recognise? That's like a no. I always look for the little power-ups because you sometimes get some good ones up here. Oh, it's not there today. Sometimes it's down there. It's a bit annoying. Yeah, so I'm not going to go into that group because that's just silly. I'm waiting for like a Dawnbreaker or something. Yeah, so this looks like it has some normal people. It does. Someone's got a good snipe build. That hit me really hard. That did initially. It was the guy at the back hit me with the snipe. It took off my shield, which I wasn't paying attention to. Who is it? I want to say that dude. I'll be mindful that now that I know that there's like ranged snipe builds in this, I need to keep my shield on. We've got one spec bow already charged. He's got a healer with him. Oh, I went for the spec bow roll dodge there. Oh, that's that sniper dead. He's got a lot of healing with that tempo skill line. Absolute ton of healing. I'm going to re-push round. Get my wretched going. Some heavy attacks. That's that Nightblade there. Do you see how quick he blew up? Literally so much damage. Oh, almost had him there. I'm just going to get some healing on me. Oh, I got the leap, got me in the mask. That was... I was just looking at my sword and thinking of what to do for subclassing. A spec bow is really good to add to it. Sniper behind me. I love that you can dodge roll dodge beam now. That is really, really nice. That is a good quality of life feature. I'd still keep the same ones going. Because you still need them. You still need the... If you go down the assassination route, like I am with spec bow, you need the extra sustain for sure. He's dead. I think the advantage of spec bow is that you can control when it shoots, and you can put two in a row. So it is a lot of burst with an overload. So if you look at this here, that was a spec bow overload to that dude, and almost one-shot him. There's another one there. There you go, look at this. Do you see the burst on that DK? Literally. So much of his health just goes in one combo. So what I've kind of found is that you basically have much more burst damage than you did before. Oh, look at yourself, I'll go down there. Got that Nightblade at the back trying to gank me. He was on the right there, he was at the back. Little Geo. I think I will add another magical recovery glyph though. I like to spam my skills a bit too much. Dead. Do you see how quickly that guy blew up? Yeah. Kill both. He's dead too. Oh, that was 4. Was that 4 there? Ah, oh, freaking love it. That 4 back to back. Is that? The burst. The burst is awesome. I literally be able to go up to a person and blow him up instantly. So freaking satisfying. That last little clip there, yeah, that was very, very good. Vega says, can you run overload on the back bar? Yes, you can. So you can turn it on the back bar, switch to the front bar and use it. That last little bit there, that 4 kills, it just... Oh, that was awesome. But yeah, that was a really good kind of showcase of what the advantage of Scribing is and Subclassing put together, is that it gives you more burst. So my kind of take on this patch, having done a little bit of it, is people have more damage. I like more damage. But that felt really, really satisfying. Big T says, I was coming to YouTube for an idea, found you, but yeah, I like what I see. I will be making a build video for this, like explaining what I do. But the kind of key thing to sort of note is that when you do any kind of subclassing build, in my opinion, you have to start with your base class or your base build, which sounds really stupid. But if you go, what is the best Magstalk build out there? You then put that on your build. You then look at the skill lines and go, what can I change skill lines to get something better than what I currently have? And if you do it that way around, I find you typically have a better build and it's more successful. So I'll give you an example with this one here. So typically we would have dark magic, yeah? So if we look at dark magic, this would be crystal fragments. The crystal fragment morph, when you use it, you've got a 50% chance when you use any skill to, I think it's 33%, sorry, when you use any skill to proc this, and it does about 16 to 18,000 tooltip. If you're fully buffed, about 20k. Decent amount, but it's very RNG. The passives reduce just skills. Bit of healing when you use that, that's not really helpful, you don't get enough out of that. A bit of sustain if you block, you're not going to use that. And a bit of prophecy, bit of crit chance. What we've done is basically taken the randomness of Crystal Shard, which is very, very random. And then we went over to the Assassination and said, well, Merciless Resolve, it hits harder, it heals you, and it gives you more bonus damage as you charge it. You can also charge 2 of these now, which means you can go bow in a row, or bow streak bow, which is what I like to do to kill tanky players. Because the first bow gets them low, the second bow, when they're stunned, kills them. This basically gives you much more burst that you can control when it lands. It also heals you, which is more passive healing. The passives are better than dark magic passives. It's more crit chance always from here, from this one here. You get more crit from the flank, which you're generally going to do, and more crit damage. You get some sustain if you kill people. So I find that by doing this, we've basically taken what was a decent skill. Dark magic is decent, and I've substituted it for a better version. So then I know my build is guaranteed to work because it's the same skill. It's a burst skill for a burst skill. I haven't gone burst skill for dot or burst skill for heal over time. If I'm going to say, let's say, for example, we're going, I want to change my summoning skill line. what do you lose? Well, if you change your summoning skill line, you lose your shield, which is your heal. That's your burst heal, basically. That's kind of what it is an assault, it's a burst heal. You lose a burst skill. You lose more max resource, which is more damage. You lose some sustain. You lose some alt sustain. You also lose some more max resource. So you go, well, if I drop this skill line, I'm going to lose a burst skill, which I'm going to have less burst, and I'm going to lose my big burst heal. I don't have a burst heal in Stormcalling, naturally. And I don't have a burst heal in Assassination, which means I need to have a skill line that gives me damage and a burst heal. And there's not many skill lines that do that. And so when you're swapping the skills out, if you think of it that way, what are you trading? You get a much more success out of it. So a good example on my Warden, the Warden has Winter's Embrace. This is what you use on a magical Warden. And you use Frostcloak, which is your armor buff. You then use Ardent Blast, which is your heal, basically, the Polar Wind. And you have to stack health. The passives are more crit chance, more ice chill chance, bit of armor, a bit of maim, and a bit more frost damage. You don't really have much frost damage. So I'm going to drop this on my Warden, and I'm going to go and run the Sorcerer Daedric Summoning. Because what that gives me is a big shield. It gives me more max resource. The Warden scales really well with damage from max resource. It also gives me access to another delayed burst skill, and the passives are better. And because of how the Warden kit plays round, the Warden's heals are really good with Living Trellis, because this can proc every second whilst you've got a shield on. Which means if your shield is always active, because it's a huge freaking shield, this is going to be doing loads of work, because it lasts a long time, it's lots of healing. The other morph gives you an extra, like, it's double the value, almost 3 times the value, but it expires and you can spam cast it. And that's what I'm doing with the subclass, and I'm taking what I currently have, and I'm going, is there a better version? Are the passives better? If you do it that way round, I find you have more success. Now, that's not to say it is the right or wrong way to do it, but that is, in my experience, better. Robert says, do you think it's better to run a defensive skill line or a defensive set? Or just go out on DPS? I think, personally, Mighty Tudor has become significantly better this patch. Because you can drop your defense line, which is normally armor. That's why you have it, that's about it. Put on this set, and now you've got a whole new skill line. Would Q again, that was a bit disappointing that there's not enough players. So if we say take, for example, we can go down like every single class. The Arcanist skill line, Soldier of Apocrypha. If you use this, you would use the armor buff here, Fate Woven Armor. You may use the shields, they're pretty decent, or the Runic Defense. And you may use the stun. So if you drop your armor line on the Arcanist, you're going to lose a stun. You're going to lose your armor buff, and you're going to lose a big shield if you want to use the shield. That's optional there. You also then lose a few decent passives. Minor Evasion's fantastic. You also get ult gen. You get more recovery. And you also get more armor. So you end up getting some pretty good stuff here. So as an Arcanist, will I want to drop this line? Probably not. These are really good passives. But that does mean as a Warden, Winter's Embrace, armor buff, and a heal. The heal is pretty naff because you have to have so much health, you lose so much damage. So that you could go as a Warden, drop your armor buff here, Winter's Embrace, grab the Arcanist one because it's got better stuff. You then get the stun that the Warden doesn't normally have. So you now have got a stun that you don't normally have. And that's what I'm trying to do, is kind of what am I putting down, or like picking up, and what am I putting down? And if you view it in that kind of way, with I need a core set of skills. If they're not covered, I can't make my build work. That's kind of essentially how it works. Every build, in my experience, spammable, burst skill, burst heal of some kind or shield, mobility skill, heal over time, burst heal, damage buff. You then normally have an armor buff, or you put a set on to give that, and you put on another burst skill. You then have 2 spare slots, one's for an execute or a dot. They're all passive buffs, like you'd use the, I forgot what it's called now, Camo Hunter or Inner Light. But if you kind of do your build and you drop your damage buff, you drop your armor buff, your build isn't going to work. You're going to die quick. You won't have enough healing power because you can't get your damage high enough. If you drop your burster, you won't be able to like recover if people get you low. If you drop your heal over time, you won't be able to fight outnumbered because you won't have enough sustained healing whilst you're fighting. And so it is as Big T is just saying, it's just really focus on what do you lose to gain and vice versa. And more often than not, you actually lose quite a lot if you're not careful. So that's where it's like made the skill gap in PvP much wider because people are putting on really wacky stuff and they're not really getting much out of it. William, I think you mentioned this last time about it, didn't you, William? About a subclassing build that uses Force Pulse status spam with the concentrated Force staff. Really tanky and annoying. Yeah, I'm 99% sure that was you, William, who asked that before. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's have a look over this way. Come on, down you come. Hey, he's come down. He's gonna regret this. Dead. I did say he would regret this, did I? He's dead. So that was 12k to his tank healer. Ah! See, that was a curse and a spec bow combo there. Huge burst. What I'll do, William, afterwards, if you remind me, I'll put a rough mock-up of what I'd probably use. But you can see, like, this healer is tanky. And he's almost dead. And that was, like, just me attacking him by myself for most of that. You cannot normally bring a healer down. I'll get all my buffs. The one thing I have lost, though, as you probably noticed, is my ability to reset my resources. Do not have that. I got hit with the charm. The charm got me. The Warden has the class mastery AoE charm. Yeah, I wear death dealers. I think I will want more sustain though. And like this is the one thing you can see that I'm hurting for max sustain on the build because I'm used to using the dark convergence. So dark deal. I'll take these, thank you very much. So what I might do is change my food from Arte and takeaway broth for Clockwork Citrus Fillet or Witch Mothers. Like in Battlegrounds mainly. He died very close. So that's spec bow. That was. Here's another spec bow. Oh, he dodged it. I tried rolling away. Got hit with a big incap. It was a very big incap. Yeah, I do go into Cyrodiil. The thing I find with Cyrodiil is it takes a lot of time to like run around and find fights. Not impossible. I'll take that speed. Love the That spam ball hits so freaking hard, doesn't it? It's so freaking hard. Yeah, another step bow. He's got a lot of healing. They've got a lot of heals in that group they have. Let me just move around here. But you can see the burst with spec bow is great. I need more mag sustain though on the build. Quay. Ah, the spec bow curse combo. Oh. Yeah, I have one of these. Ah, I went to get him with. I put on my inner light because I knew that he was trying to go and cloak. Yeah, stop heavy attacking me. I'm one of those. There you go. Ah, 10k spec bow. Phew. And that's what I mean with the spec bow being so freaking good for this build. Yeah, I think the sets we got give us everything we need. I went to go for the oh, got hit with a killer's blade. That's being spammed with executes. Yeah, 12 kills. The burst is really good. I want more mag sustain though. I need to change my food. I think I've got Witch Mothers on me actually. Yeah, let's use that. I think this will, because I need to either have a I drop a bit of mag, which I don't think is gonna be huge. And obviously the death dealers will push our health up anyway in combat. You never know they're on Nightblade now with Cloak because of the whole everybody have access to Cloak. I'll try and get the relic. Actually play the objective. I've just been focused on kills, as you've probably seen. And there's that big group there though. I am waiting for them. There you go. There's so much healing. He literally stand there just a toxic barrage. I mean, I was just rolling it and. Oh, look at that burst, that damage. It's full health. Yeah, one of these. Here you go. Oh, you can have one of these too, mate. Have one of these back. There you go. Have that back. There you go. Yeah, that change of food though. Yeah, I definitely feel like... Yeah, this feels way better doing that change. Just changing the food there, my sustain feels so much more manageable. They definitely don't like me, do they? Let me just get some heals here. There we go. Yeah, this orc feels so freaking good. Oh, you don't. Let's just heal up quickly. You literally, like, when you have am I running any special weapon? No. Ah, I got him. Freaking got him. Sorry, I was so after that Nightblade. There's a spec on him. Yeah, this is like awesome. For 23 kills. Oh, did you see that guy? He had full health. This is in Battlegrounds, so there's no CP. Which is why I need to run the regen food. Yeah, this definitely feels like in a really good spot. Yeah, that was 1.7 million damage. I was happy with that. Very happy with that. That really shows like what the salt can do. Just checking with chat. William was saying about he was the guy who was asking about an force pulse type build. So yeah, that's definitely possible. Just be able to spam stupidly high regens. That's 100% a thing. You can go down the stam route as well. So I've got a build which is on the way, but it's got 7,000 stam recovery and it uses esoteric greaves. So you basically can just keep that set on 100% without ever needing to block. It is really stupid. So with what you're trying to do, Williams, 100% a thing with the stacking recoveries or cost reduction to get force pulse to be so cheap. So and then you'll be able to then use that to chain the AoEs around on people's status. If you want to use it with more status, use Serpent's Disdain or Assassin's Misery. So you can use like Elemental Explosion, hit everybody with the statuses instantly because it's guaranteed. They're going to last 20 seconds. Then you can just spam force pulse into the group and it's just going to chain. Vega says, so in this case, you're using Spec Bow as a finisher to your combo. Yes. So Spec Bow is basically the execute. The reason why the execute's so good is because, or the Spec Bow so good, is you can stack 2 of them. So when at 5 stacks or more, you can consume 5 to fire a big bow, but it goes up to 10 times. So what happens is you can shoot somebody once, and then they don't normally expect you to have a second charged. And that's the difference. So if you land one of these with Haunting Curse and an Overload, it is almost game over. If you can get both spec bows in a row, it's even worse. So it was used as like the way to finish people off, basically. Big T24 is asking about special weapons. It's just crafty and wretched. I am using an Inferno, by the way, for people curious. I think with this patch, an Inferno is better, in all honesty. And that's simply because of the Trifocus passive. So if I buff up, this passive is already 20,100, 21,000 almost. When it's fully buffed, it's about 23,000, which basically means it's a free damage over time. It's a free dot. So against tankier players, you just heavy attack with the back bar, switch to the front bar, you've got a free dot. So nothing to lose there, really. Zach, I think it's pronounced, or says Okan, so Okan, I think it might be. Is PvP fun in the game? It is when you're winning, obviously. I like the theory crafting. So being able to make a build, make it do what you want, that's fun to me. And if you kind of get a build that is, you know, set up in such a way where you really take advantage of everything the game offers you, it's very satisfying to go, it's working. Which is why I make videos, because I like to do that. Go like, this works, this is really good. The only thing that's like really sad with the subclassing is that you have to level it up. That is the only downside. It's a really good system. It gives you so many more choices than you had before. And it's, in my opinion, it's increased damage. PvP needed a big spike of damage. It hasn't had it in a long time. And that has given it. But as I was saying, when you do this subclass, and you do have to, you know, level them up, which does take some time, not gonna lie. So, yeah. But, you know, I've done most of them. These are all level 1 originally. Literally, all my source ones are 50 as well. And my Arcanists are all 50. It's literally 2 on the Necro and all of the Dragonknight. So there's not much left for me to like do to get my subclass in max, like on every line, which is great. What I would do, William, bear with me 1 second, whilst we're waiting for here. This is the build for people curious for this one. You know, screenshot it, do what you want. There it is. In regards to William, what you were after, you have 2 ways of get it to achieve your goal. You go down the cost reduction route, or you go down the really high max Magicka route, a Magicka regen route. On False Pulse, one of the things you'll notice very quickly is it's actually quite expensive. So it's about 2 to 2.4k roughly, depending on light armor pieces, if you're vampire or not. Which means if you're using it every 1 second, you have to double this value. So if you're doubling this value, you're now looking at 4,400 recovery at a minimum to sustain it. And that's assuming you're doing no other skills that cost slightly more than that. So like this will cost more. So if you did this, but you run just 4,400 recovery, when you buff up, you wouldn't be regenerating the bit you needed to buff up with. So you need roughly about 5,000 to sustain it effectively. What that really means is you've got a few options of ways to do this. Subclassing is going to be your best friend. If you go down to the Warden in Animal Companions, they have a passive down here which is called, I think it's not this one, Savage Beast, or was it my Flourish, sorry. Flourish is when this is 2 out of 2, it's 20% recovery. So if you stack this, for example, with the, I want to say Sorcerer also have a regen passive as well, if I recall, in the Storm Calling. Was it in the Storm Calling? Yeah, there's some recovery there. So that will buff this recovery, which is nice. You get more damage there with your shock. And there's another one they have. I don't think it's Dark Magic. I might be wrong. But there's another percent one they had. After blocking, not that one. No, it's not that. Maybe it's Summoning. That's just max resource. So as Animal Companions, there's another one that I used with it. I know Nightblade has one. Bear with me. So I do something like animal companions. So Warden, animal companions. The Nightblade has in their siphoning. Where is it? Is it siphon or it might be in shadow? There's one that gives them, I think, 15% sustain. That's your max resource. There it is, sorry. It's refreshing shadows in the shadow. So if you did the shadow with the animal companions, you're going to have 35% stam mag recovery built in, which is a huge amount of recovery. Cheers, Odin. Yeah, so for William's thing, if you were like trying to, you know, go around it, I would. You can pick between Nightblade or Warden to do it on, but they have loads of base regens. Arcanist, did they? I thought these had some sustain as well. One of the percent ones. But there it is. This one here too. So you also get this. This goes up to, I think it's 18% or is it 20%? It's quite high. So you could go like Arcanist, so curative rune forms, animal companions, and then go on the Nightblade shadow. You basically have like almost 45% mag recovery boost just from passives alone. When regen and cost reduction, regen's typically better because the higher your base, the more you can benefit from it. Thank you. You have one of these. Oh, he's dead. Thank you. Let me grab that. Look at me. I'm playing the objective. Playing the objective. Yeah, I have that. Yeah. Oh, I went for a cheeky spat bow. Use a bit of pillar block in there. Breton would probably be better if you're going to make a new character. Just because you can put... Hey, who tried attacking me down there? Then it might be in the Wrath of Elements actually, proccing. Someone's trying to play snipe, aren't they? This person back here. Yeah, I have a spec bow. He's got a curse. Love it. He's got a creative one. There you go. Streak. Oh no, 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 I'm in the water, I'm in the water. Come out and fight. Come on. Ah. Ah, that was a good little fight with him. That was a good little fight. Oh, he's blocking. Just gonna get some distance going. Almost blew up the DK in one go. Ah! I had 3 of them in the end to get me. It took 3 of them. Ah, I've got him. Tried out one of those. Try to get the Reddit back. That was very, very tight there. Is he going to come down? Do you think he's come back? Come on. He's run off. He's run off. I'm going to pop down here. I'll check chat in a sec. I'm playing Stay Alive. It's quite a good game. So I'll just regroup with the other people. Yeah, so we're getting some good kills. There we go. But yeah, I'm quite happy with the Sulk. It's working exactly what how I thought it would. The burst is really high. The damage is nice, like consistently, and it's got really good survivability. I much prefer it with the extra regen from the food. That's made the build much more friendly to play. If that makes sense. I'm just checking with chat. Odin is saying about his Nightblade, so he's debating whether going to Vampire 4, dropping stealth button, or taking either Sulk tree or a Warden tree. This is for a ranged Nightblade build. When you say range, are you trying to focus on ganking range, like as in kill people as quick as you can, or are you focusing more on just playing at range? And if you kill people, you're not trying to blow them up straight away. For a range, I've done the testing for this already. On a Nightblade, the best combination for Nightblade range ganking is Sorcerer Dark Magic with the Nightblade Shadow and then the Arcanist Herald of the Tome. Those 3 skill lines combined give you the best amount of burst straight away, to the point where you can basically heavy attack with a set and kill people and do like about 30k burst with 1 heavy attack. It's really nasty. The reason it works is the Dark Magic. This has Crystal Shard, which turns into Crystal Weapon, which is it's about a 10-12k tooltip. It will proc on a heavy attack. It has a 5-second duration, so when you cast it, you can put Cloak, heavy attack, you get the heavy attack and this. You can then also, with the Arcanist, use the skill Expert Tree Ties, which is this one here. This will proc on any class skill, And you notice it says class abilities. It doesn't have to be an Arcanist class ability. It can be a Sorcerer class ability. So what happens is if this is active and this lasts 30 seconds, it lasts absolutely ages. When you do your Dark Magic and you do your Crystal Shard, this will proc. And then what will happen is the Tome Bearer's Inspiration, which you change to Expertory Ties, also procs, which means you get 2 free sources of damage you don't normally get. You then also can use any spammable like Silver Bolts. That's pretty decent. The reason Silver Bolts is really nice is under the Fighter's Guild, it gives you a bit more damage from here. And most people have a Vampire or something, and so you do an extra 20% damage with it. So it's free damage here, it's free ult gen if people die, it's bonus damage with a Vampire. This hits hard anyway, it's also dirt cheap. So what ends up happening is you basically do a heavy attack with Silver Bolts. Those 3 skills fire. You can then put on a heavy attack set like the Anthemil's Construct, which I don't think I have on this, but that procs on heavy attacks. And then what makes it even more juicy is that with the subclass and the Sorcerer Dark Magic, Crystal Weapon is treated as a melee skill. So when you go into sneak and you're sneaking around, what happens is you get a buff on your character called Sneak. And it says melee attacks stun the first enemy hit for 2 seconds and gain maximum critical damage against monster. This first bit applies in PvP. Melee attacks stun the first enemy hit for 2 seconds. Crystal Weapon is a melee weapon skill even if used at range. So what that means is if you attack somebody from behind with a heavy attack with Crystal Weapon, this will stun them. So what happens is Crystal Weapon becomes a stun. It also becomes a burst skill. You can put on the extra damage with the Tome Bearer's Inspiration, because it's a class skill, so they synergize really well. And then you can follow up with Silver Bolts. And those 4 or 5 things land at once with a stun and they can't dodge it. So, yeah, it's pretty broken. Yeah, that's a... I can probably make it... I can probably set it up in a sec, actually. I've got all the stuff for it. I'll put in poll if people would like me to set up that build. It is the bow gank and it is the Nightblade version. Yeah, I'll put a poll up, see what you guys are interested in. I'll do a BG, and then we'll go from there. You're yet to make an Arcanist. When I was doing the testing, they were like the best ones for that style of play. If you're going to use something else and you don't have an Arcanist to start with, you're looking for something like damage. So the Animal Companions isn't a bad shout, only because they've got some nice crit passives. But you can also slot on Falcon of Swiftness and Bird of Prey, which is Minor Berserk. And then because you'd have at least this on, with an advanced species, it's 2% crit damage. It's not huge. It becomes 4%, I think, when it's fully like when it's level 2. And you can also put on like the Bear as the ult if you want, for just, again, more crit damage. That's an option. And what you'd normally do is you'd drop the... On the Nightblade, you would drop Siphoning because it's pretty bad. Alternatively, you could just keep Assassination and just use Spec Bow. The only thing with Spec Bow, they did nerf it. So when you're in combat, this charges, but as soon as you leave combat, this turns off straight away. And so what happens is you can't like keep this line up charged anymore. Before, people would charge up against an NPC in PvP, and then they'll try and do an in-cap into Spec Bow or snipe into Spec Bow combo. That can't be done now. That is physically impossible. Even with the combat bug, it's really hard to get those things to line up now. Lining up Fracture and Blast modes, I was thinking with a snipe and the spam ball from Sigic. The problem with Blast Bones is it's telegraphed. You can see it coming. So with that in mind, anybody you're going to try and kill knows it's coming. They're going to block, they're going to shield, they're going to buff up, they're going to heal. It's going to be hard for you to kill them. The spammable from Psijic is nice. It does hit hard. Silver Bolts is better for ganking just because of the Fighter Guild's passive. And what will normally happens is when you do your Crushing Weapon, which is the skill from Psijic Order, it does give them Major Breach, which is good. The problem that you have though is that hits at the end of your combo. So you don't actually benefit from the penetration. Your combo does not get any bonus from that penetration because it takes too long to get there. You can use a Scribe skill and just use like Sundering Soul. So it's basically the physical version of this. It's physical damage, Lingering Torment, Breach. That's also pretty decent as well. But you can see I've been doing a lot of testing. So very, very excited about the patch. You gotta wait till the Scribe train till July. Yeah, no worries. I think it's good that it's coming to the game for free. Finally, I think that's a nice addition. It's one of the few things it's also done that's actually decent. I would suggest not to like shamelessly promote my own content, but there are some guides on the channel that kind of show how to get scripts really quickly. I think you can get like 10 a day, which is really fast. Definitely do that. And I also cover the golden vendor and the weekly vendors and stuff, which covers the scripts too. Just going to go behind them. Sometimes you can catch people from behind. There we go. They've got a healer with them. Tried to get in that butt. This is one of the things, if you're a content creator, you have a lot of people that see you and they love to chase you down. Look, he's literally going to run away. He is literally running away from me. Well. I went to go for this kill on him. They got so much healing on that group. That 300k, 200k, that's so much healing in that big circle. A shadow you need for cloak, Robert. Definitely need cloak. No, I'm not going to be using potions to snipe. Seems silly. Waste of money. That's one healer dead. Yeah, as soon as you get rid of the healers, they die quite quick. He is really freaking fast, isn't he? I don't want to say that he's hacking, but he seems stupidly quick, doesn't he? Look. He's run off, he has. There you go. He is fast, isn't he? Oh! He is fast, fast, fast. Is it me or is he like objectively fast? We should probably get some objectives. Who's that? Yeah, I'm just gonna... Ah, they're gonna get me. I went through and killed a lot of that team, and then they got me. We've got this flag. I was like holding that entire wing. Dead. Ah, that's where experience like wins, isn't it? Ah, they got me, they got me, they got me, they got me. Oh, I was trying so hard to stay alive. Yeah, this feels really good. I like the spec bow with this. Really like the spec bow with this. There's a poll up, by the way, to go what should we jump on next. Do. I think I stole that kill. Yeah, I stole that kill. So stole that kill. Damage buff. Oh. This is mad flag. It's just pretty. Did you see it blow up? I put my shield on. I've got the other guy. I should have streaked twice there. You see, I'm definitely like holding on like 3 or 4 people and just really pulling away them from taking the flags. Yeah, 21-4. Take that. That was pretty good. Million damage. Yeah, I definitely think spec bow is the way to go for sure on Sulk. It's so much more damage than before. So just looking at the combat metrics. It's 7k, 12k, 13k, 12k, 8, almost 9k, 14k. You can see like that spec bow is hitting really hard consistently. 14 to him, 14 to him, 11 to him. So I do think spec bow is definitely what we need to use on Sulk going forward. It just feels so much more burstier than normal. Plus we have all the good damage and stuff like before. Looking at the poll, it looks like people are saying go on the Nightblade. Aileen is saying struggling to find a build that can compete with meta right now. I will say the Nightblade is actually weaker than the Sulk sniper, just a heads up. But we'll make it, because I think that's the most popular one on the poll. So I will have to go back and forth and just make the sets and stuff we need. So here's good old Nightblade. He's set up. I will let me just save this build so I don't forget. So that way I know it's updated. Because I'm happy with this. This feels good. Damage is there, sustain's there, defense is there. It's kind of got what you need. Break next is how many classes can you use with subclass stuff? I think subclass makes all classes more like viable than they were before. You can use 3 at once, and then you can obviously have like different saves here. So this is saved with the different stuff, different skills. It normally doesn't show the skill lines. That's something that's probably missing here, actually. Unless I can't see it there, but it doesn't show like which skill lines you have. Let's get on the Nightblade. And then yeah, we will, can't say abuse stuff, but yeah, we'll break things. I'm just looking. Hello. Just find where I saved it. I did save a thing for it. Bear with me. I'm just finding something on my computer. I shall write down what it was. I think I remember off the top of my head, but yeah. So yeah, we're on the Nightblade. This was the old Shadow build. I absolutely love this thing. So we are going to be using quite a few new things. So how much space have I got? I need to drop some stuff in the bank. So first and foremost, we are keeping Dial Up Ray. That is not going anywhere. Question is, do I have a Dial Up Ray one in my bank? I do, that'll do, sweet. Ideally, you'd want this to be a sword, in all honesty. Might need to see where that is saved. This is a really good add-on, by the way. A few builds of Battle Bar in front by Dial Up Ray because of you. Dial Up is so good for like sniping and stuff. It's amazing. Who has this? Unius Teridian. Okay, so we need to get that from there. Let's go grab that quickly, so I don't forget. So yeah, the build's changing quite a lot. My Arcanist, he has it. The Reef says that bank is full. Yeah. The problem is, because I do so much like Battlegrounds and Cyrodiil and stuff, you get so much garbage. I can't be bothered to delete it. So, yeah. Look. This is just full of stuff. I actually have space though, so I can probably use these up now. So let's go to the banker. Okay, so we need to remake those anyway. That's fine. Alright, we're going to go back to Sorcerer then. We're going to craft what we need. So yeah, this is my crafter, by the way. Yeah, you can see why I could never get rid of ESO Plus, because my bank's full, my craft bag is stupidly full. It just isn't viable. Alright, so we're going to reconstruct things and so on. We'll grab that one, and then where's the Battleground reward? That one there. So I'm just getting my transmutes because I'm going to use quite a few of these. Put on my crafter. And guilds. So yeah, we're going to be setting up the stuff for the sniper. The sniper has changed quite a lot, in all honesty. There's been a lot of adjustments. The one thing I did try to keep the same though was dial up Bray. But we've got a new mythic, we've got all sorts of new stuff. I think the mythic, does it come with the right trait? I don't think it does. Tray, no. Yeah, so we need to reconstruct this new mythic. This mythic is fantastic. So what it says, whilst you're in combat on your primary bar, you get major force, so loads of crit damage, minor berserk, loads more damage, and minor vulnerability, loads more damage. Really, really good. When you're on the back bar, you get major protection, minor vitality, and minor timidity. Loads of good stuff. But this is just really, really, really good for ganking. So we're going to make this. I'm going to make this in infused. We're then going to also go into DLC dungeons. And we're looking for Oathwolf's Pit. And we want this. Ideally, this would be medium. I don't have the right drop, and I can't be bothered to do more key farming. I got sick and tired of it. I don't even know how many gold ones I got. But yeah, sure. Let's go gold. 55 crystals. Oh, that's a lot of crystals. So that's going to go there. We're then going to craft a brand new set that we haven't used in quite some time. Stocio says, is Oaken Source Knight 1 bar worse than with this new mythic? Yeah, the new mythic's better in all honesty. And what you can do, you can be clever with some subclassing shenanigans, get the same effect, because you can put on Herald of the Tome, which we use anyway, and get the damage buff. So you don't actually have to push any damage. Yeah. On the bonus damage you take though, because you're not really in combat much, it doesn't really impact you because you're just trying to kill people and then retreat. So that bonus damage you take isn't huge. And then losing the ult, again, because you're open up to kill them, it only really applies when you're in combat. It's not like it doesn't start taking away constantly from when I was using it. And even then we're not using the ult much. So we need woodworking, and we're going to look for a crafted set. There's a DLC set. And we're looking for Shattered Fate. Now, I had a big test on stream about probably 5-6 weeks ago. Loads of people said, what about Oak Fathers? So it's down here somewhere. I thought it was crafted. But long story short, Oak Fathers is worse than Shattered Fate. Shattered Fate hits harder. So you want to use this. This is the better set to use. So we're going to use that. Shattered Fate, creation, we need a bow. We need it to be sharpened. Sure, let's do that. I don't really. That looks somewhat okay. We're going to upgrade this. So we've got that one there. We have dial up Bray jewelry. I'm gonna put these on my Nightblade now, then I'll switch back again just so I craft the right pieces. So there's the bow. And it was that and that. Okay, so I'm going to quickly just switch to the Nightblade, put those on there and see what we're missing set-wise, just to get the sets working as they need to work, because the plan is to have Dial Bray on the back bar active at all times. So when we're on the back bar, we're sneaking around, we get the sustain. When we go to do the damage, we don't need the sustain, so we can have more damage on that bar. Now, if you're on the Sorcerer version of this, you can run all Swift. But we're going to try it without first, and if we need more speed, we can do some stuff around that, okay? Well, that is like really in the way, innit? There you go, that. Oh, I've got to deposit stuff. Let's... I don't even know why I'm carrying so much of this stuff. I love good old fire. Fire's great. Goodbye, Tarnished. You have been good to me. Let's use all those geodes up quickly. Junebug says, what are we working on right now? We've updated the Sulk. The Sulk's like, in my opinion, it's godly. It's ridiculously good. We're playing Update the Sniper. It's a fun game. Oh, that's so much garbage, don't I? Let's get the merchant out. I'm just getting rid of all the just absolute shite. This was a good set till they broke it. They nerfed the hell out of this. This is the Nightblade version. The Sorcerer version is better in my opinion. I'll show the skill lines in a sec. I've just got so much garbage. Literally, this is all PvP, but just stuff I don't use. That's actually worth a bit of money, that is. Might keep that. I'm almost done. Okay, so it looks like we actually have we have inventory space now. So that is good. We were, I think, in the process of getting, was it Shattered? We were grabbing Shattered. The skill lines, they're really easy to do. But we were going to use, I need to do a stupid quest. Oh no, I've done the quest on this. I don't think we were doing the quest on this, but apparently I have. Dark Magic. Oh yeah, sorry, I've done it already. Shadow, Dark Magic, and Herald of the Time. These are the best three for what we're doing. So this needs to be our Shattered Bow. Construct. New Mythic, where's that? Darlock. Are they divines yet? So I need feet, hands. Don't know what happened there. Waist. And then that could be trainee. I'm putting that in chat so I don't forget. Okay. Trainee, chest, feet, hands, waist. Alright, you can tell it's late. We'll get there eventually. They're what we need to get next. So yeah, feet, hands, waist. we're actually not using it for Dark Deal, Reef. We're using it for Crystal Weapon. Crystal Weapon is stupidly broke. Like, stupidly broken. I'll show you in a second as to why, and then why this whole thing works so stupidly good. Right, so we're going to go back to the craft house. And then I think we've got all the stats that on there, and then the skills are easy to do. Whilst it's having that, I'm just going to go get a drink. Be 1 sec. Hello, I am back. Sorry about that. I went and got a drink. So we need to go to the DLC Shattered Fate. And what was it? It was feet, hands, and waist. So that will do that. So feet, hands, and waist. Okay, we'll upgrade these quickly. Yeah, so if you just joined, we're just updating the sniper live, so that way you can see what I'm doing. I'll explain the kind of idea behind it and kind of how it works. And then we'll be good to kind of rock with it. We'll then do a trainee chest because we've got a spare space. That's heavy. We want the medium. So I think we've got all the sets done now, guys. So I think we are pretty much good to go. That one. And then we want Shattered. Vegas has asked, what have you found is the best or easiest way of getting transmute stones? Since they've changed how PvP works with the rewards of the worthy, just do that. So your first reward of the worthy box gives you a guaranteed 25 drops. And if you win a Battlegrounds match, you get 10 for winning. So if you do one Battlegrounds match and you win it, you get 35 crystals. It takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and you can do it every day. 35 crystals a day over a week, you know, you're looking a lot of crystals. That's how I get mine. That change alone has taking me from averaging, it's per account, but still 35 crystals. If you think the Cyrodiil campaign, which is Rewards of the Worthy, and you get 50 for a whole 30-day campaign, to get 35 in 1 day, it's kind of broken. I'm not gonna lie. Like I love it. I've never had so many transmutes ever, and I really hope they keep it this way. But at the same time, I do appreciate it is very, very good, and it probably will get adjusted. Okay, so we're pretty much here set up with the build now. This is gonna be trainee. This will be shattered. Already had one of these. And go. So what happens is when we turn the front bar, shattered turns on. So when we do damage, shatters on. When we turn the back bar, Dart of Bray turns on. So this combined means we get loads of sustain. What's good with Dart of Bray is as soon as you tap sneak, even if you're not sneaking, the regen works. Swarovski said, so everyone's running Bowstalk now? Bowproc. Bowproc's good. I've seen a lot of people use it. I've seen a lot of people use Blast Bones. Ziggurat. I'm just going to go and just do my pulse stuff. And then we'll put on the skills. I need to reset all my skill points. Let's go with speed. Now the one thing you will notice very quickly with subclassing, and I'm very bad at this, is it eats your skill points like there's no tomorrow. Honestly, the amount of skill points you need is obscene. And unless you do a lot of PvE on that character or you farm Sky Shards, you're going to find it very depressing very quick. So let's clear all of our skill points. I have 119 on this character, so I should be okay. But you will see this goes very fast. So, on the front bar, from the Dark Magic, we are going to be rocking the good old crystal weapon. We're also going to be rocking on the front bar the cloak. It is not a sniper without cloak, in all honesty. On the back bar, we're going to rock Herald of the Tome. And we're going to watch the Tome Bearer's Inspiration. Recuperative Tree Ties is the better one for burst. Inspired Scholarships hits harder within, as a DPS skill, but this hits more burst. So you want to use this. You then pick a spammable of choice. Now we're going to go down to Scribing and look to get a Scribe skill. So Sunder and Soul. This becomes really, really good. We need from the Strategic Order Accelerate and then Channel Deceleration. It does cost like longer to do to channel it, but then you get the huge movement speed for ages. You do need to be a vampire. A crystal weapon, if you do it, doesn't pull you out of Steak. It does pull you out of so it does pull you out of Snake, but you can push this then cloak. So you go this, then cloak. You're back in it, and it lasts 5 seconds. So it is absolutely fine to use. If you want more penetration, you can run this on the front bar as the ult, or you can get Dawnbreaker. On the back bar, we are going to run Defensive Rune. This is basically here in case you essentially mess up. That's why that is there. Okay? We want to go down to the Fighters Guild and get Camo Hunter. This is more damage. I'm probably going to rock this one for the moment, but I might change it to the Fighters Guild. So I'll get both. Just because the Fighters Guild has the weapon damage passive, whereas the Herald of the Tome has the penetration passive. So we're going to start to put in all our passives, because these are all good stuff. These are. But you start seeing when I put in these passives, my points are going very, very fast. I could probably drop some of these, to be honest. Bow. Let's get all these. Didn't do that one. Let's get our race ones too. So as you can see, we're going to be quite tight on skill points. I had 119 skill points, and I'm down to 39 already. I'll put in all my armor ones yet. I need two-hander. No, you can use rally as a burst heal and sustain buff. Not needed, but you can if you want. This is 6k when it's fully buffed, which will need to put on all our damage buffs. I've got no glyphs on yet. So if I look at the bits, I need to put on like glyphs here. That will help a lot. It adds up quite a lot. Let's get our vampire stuff going. Let's see if I got a glyph on me. I might do. No, I don't. No physical harm there. Now, I do think the Assault Sniper is better in my opinion, just a heads up. Glyphs. I thought it was physical. I thought it was like physical harm and magical harm, not a decrease. So it is that. I do. And then we need to put on all the stamina. I've got to move all the stuff around. So you see that's already gone up now to 7k. It goes to about 10,000 buffed. Now we're pretty much there where you can put on like an extra one of these if you want. It's not really needed. I'm going to go to Scribing to get a burst heal. I'll come back for glyphs in a moment. We need two stamp glyphs. That's just from crystal weapon. But the crystal weapon does a different job. That's not why we're using it for that. The damage is nice, but it's not there for that reason. So I'll get to that in a second, okay? Contingency, healing, gladiator tenacity, and a regens. Let's slot that. The back bar suite. Oh, I'm going to put on vigor. I don't think I have any light armor. One piece of heavy. I think we're mostly there. I've got a spare. Yeah, pretty much reef. But there's a reason why this works so much better than it did before. I'll put on silver bolts just so I can get some more damage here. I feel like I've got everything I need, but I might be missing something. So if I am, yeah, we'll figure it out. I think this is what I was going to use. And then obviously temporal guard and the Sigic order. So that's major and minor protection, makes us super tanky. Yeah, I think we're pretty much there with this, and then I can take it into Battlegrounds and show it on, like, in action. Now, because of the damage difference this has between the Sorcerer, to get the same parity as the Sorcerer, you actually have to put everything into stamina. Like, you literally cannot afford the damage loss. The duel would be better on the back bar using Quick Cloak. That is an option, but if Quick Cloak hits something, it pulls you out of stealth. And we also have access to Major Expedition anyway. Yeah, I'll explain it. I'll go for it in a second. So, I'll get the glyphs, and then I can kind of show you the tooltips, and then show you why I use what I use. I did test on stream. I said I was about 5 hours on stream doing it when the patch dropped. And essentially, in order to try and maximize damage, this gives you the best damage overall. Which I know seems a bit counterintuitive. But what happens is that this stuff here, compared to any other skill line, it synergizes the best with what we're trying to do. That should be stony 3. We get one more. Okay, so I think... Let me grab that. Yeah. Oops, sorry. You can tell it's getting late because I'm pushing the wrong buttons a lot. And what we then want to do, get our banker out. Get some money then and buy some rabbit. Where's consumables? Might have to go to Vardenvale to get the food. But we're looking for braised rabbit. It's a blue food, it's loads of health and loads of... There it is. Stamina. Perfect. Oh, before I forget, my Lagerda main passives. These are good. Have these. Go there. So, with this all combined, what you'll see is our tooltip. This is 9,300 already. So the reason why we use all of this stuff here is recuperative tree ties. When this procs, it generates crux. When it generates crux, it will proc harness quintessence, which is 3 damage. It also procs this fated fortune, which is 12% more crit damage for 7 seconds. You then also get the extra penetration from the actual skill line itself by having the ult on the front bar. So this basically gives you 3 damage with some sustain. Because this gives you magic and stamina back, this is why this procs this. So this is 3 damage, and this also gives you crux, which procs this. So you end up getting loads of extra crit damage, which is amazing, and loads more damage. The reason we use Dark Magic is because Crystal Weapon is a delayed skill and it's a class ability. Which means you can put this on. Crystal Weapon, Cloak, Heavy Attack. When Crystal Weapon lands, it procs, and then it also procs the Tree Ties as well. What's also special is how Crystal Weapon works. So I need to show you against an NPC because it is a very special skill. And it's kind of what makes this entire thing work. If they nerf this interaction with the skill and the combat, we will have to go back to the drawing board. But at present, this was the best way to snipe and gank, and it was easy. So let me put my potions on. There you go. We sneak around on the back bar. The reason we have defensive rune, by the way, is it lasts 2 minutes. It's obscene. So you literally put this on you, and if someone attacks you, they get stunned. If you fail your gank and they attack you back, they get stunned. It's a really good counter stun. So this is just a really good way to go, oh, I made a mistake. If you're Magsork, frags are better. If you're going for ganking, Crystal Weapon is better for ganking. So, Crystal Weapon lets you do this. I'm on a range build. If I attack from range, so let me just go and cloak quickly. There's always one here that's easy to do, yeah? If I attack from here, hold heavy attack, he doesn't get stunned, yeah? We all agree on that. Now, I'll try it with different skills. I'll try this person here, yeah? I'm going to do a skill. He's not stunned. This I'm just going to do Crystal Weapon. Crystal Weapon and just like attack. Oh, I'm out of range of it. How am I kind of... There, it's done. So what this means is that the Crystal Weapon is being treated as a melee skill, so it stuns them. So when you do the whole thing together, it looks something like this. You buff up. You put on this one. Contingency, which is our extra damage. You go for this. Go for this. Heavy attack. Dead. And what's also nice is it also gets a stun on the combo. So they're also stunned. So when it all lands together, they get hit really hard, they get stunned, and you got to follow up. It is ridiculously busted. Go into BGs. It's honestly, it's really good. And what's really depressing, yeah? This looks good, yeah? The Sorcerer one is significantly better. Like, I cannot stress how much better it is. It's faster, it hits hard, it's got better sustain, and it has Overload as a ranged ult if you want to use it. So against tanky players, you have enough damage to bring down tanks because you don't use your ult on a ganker, do you? On a ranged Nightblade, you don't use an ult. You're trying to kill them before they get to you. So then when you've got a 300-400 ult to just spam ult Overload into them, it is stupidly good. Yeah, I did show it on stream a couple of weeks back, Vegas. I'm not surprised. So we'll go around and we'll find something a bit tanky. There's a werewolf down there. They're pretty tanky when they're alive. And you can just push cloak and just go beep. Dead. And obviously your Thunder and Soul hits so hard, but the whole combo just is disgusting. And what let me get my combo matches up so I can show you. So I'm out of combat now. Just show that they do proc together. Oh, that's my defensive rune doing its magic there. So you can see the tree tides, it is proccing on Crystal Weapon. I was surprising people with Colossus earlier. Colossus is fun. It's not the best, but it's a fun thing. We'll try IC whilst we're waiting. But we might not get a Battleground at this time of night. It is 20 to 1. So 20 to 12 here. And if we're in Europe, it's like 2 hours ahead. So it's like very late. But yeah, this is what my news and Abba will use. I do prefer the Sulk because you can run swift. So you do have more speed. And you still have good damage. If you run swift on this, you lose the damage. Okay, that's red. Arbitorium, we're going to go. Yeah, being able to have that defensive rune target. Goodbye, Mr. Friend. Dead. Alright, let's go to our battlegrounds. Yeah. The damage is very, very nasty. Yeah, that person has 8k heavy attack, 8k crystal weapon, 4k thunder, so it's 8, 16, 20,000 plus dead, 22k with just... I mean, that's all the health he had, but... Yeah. This thing is glorious. It's absolutely... I absolutely love it. One second, I sort of shut the door. So, Chaos Ball. Robert says, is there even room for Snipe on the bar? You can, but it's not needed. And Snipe actually Snipe is worse as a combo. Because Snipe, it's got like an 8k tooltip. When it's fully buffed, it's 9, 10k. This is very similar, but you got the heavy attack with it, which ends up doing more total damage than this and a light attack. I haven't even enchanted my weapon yet. We'll figure that out afterwards. It should be a fire glyph, by the way. So we've got all our nice buffs on. And now we're just going to look for a victim. Let's grab this. And our buffs last absolutely ages. Ah. The one that got away, eh? Dead. Dead. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And then with the Dalek Prey, you can literally sit here and just regen food. There, we're good to go again. So that you can see why I want the Swift on this, yeah? That's him dead. Did you see the guy with the relic? The defensive stun also got the stun on him. But yeah, that guy had full health on the back with the heals on him and he blew up. He's also 1600 CP, so he's not like he's someone new to the game. Yeah, this is getting nerfed for sure. The Sork's even worse. Like, the Sork is way worse than this. You can literally like light attack overload and people just blow up. Let's put on our rune. So in case we make a mistake, we got a free stun. Love it. And then we're good to go now. Oh, it got out. It didn't get the heavy attack on him. Do you see that defensive rune literally saved my life? Like, that's why defensive rune is so good. Because, you know, the guy moved out the way so I couldn't get the heavy on him to proc all the damage. Dead. He had full health, he had 30 odd K health. He had 30k health. He blew up. And do you know what's really stupid with this build? Our pen's ridiculously high. I didn't get the extra. I didn't put on my crystal weapon. Tried getting the defense rune on them. The problem is you can't get spec bow with it. Because what do you drop? And spec bow doesn't work in stealth anymore. As soon as you get out of combat, it resets. I might need to put some points in magicka though. I want a bit more mag sustain. He's dead. Thank you for those skills. Expand my top in charge. I did not morph that morph, did I? We'll go Fighter's Guild. I want to level my Dawnbreaker. I don't think I need the extra pen. So you can see why I want a bit more mag sustain, more max mag. So I might change the food in BGs. That's him dead. Yeah, for defensive room. He's got, yeah, the camo detect on. The defensive room stunned him. It did. So the damage is really high. I just want more speed. So this is why this needs to be swift. I don't think there's an issue with like the damage on this. The damage is really high. I just need to get some more sustain in. Because this feels so slow. Couldn't get my light attack off. Oh, he's dead. Oh, 10k, take that. He put on his Gibbering shield and he literally... Oh. Oh. Glorious. Look at this damage. Cheers. Oh yeah, he had a block on he did. That was a decent block there. I need to move my heal. My heal's in the wrong place. I'm going to push figure. They're the wrong way around. How I like it. And then I need to put the Mage Guild. There we go. You know you get used to like skills in certain spots. Dead. He had full health. You definitely do. If your skills are not in the right place, it feels damage buff up there. Take that, thank you. But yeah, the damage is really, really nice. We've had 11 kills with this. Just literally heavy attacking people. Come on. You also have, because you got your crystal weapon, you can also use that with light attack silver bolts, and they land together. Dead. That's 30k health. I think he had. Let's just reset our resources. Oh, I went to go. I got 9k Dawnbreaker on that dude though. They were trying to get me as a group. Yeah. I'll take that. For a first little run. 64 mag blue food, your stamina only goes down when you're rolling. Yeah. But yeah, this is good. Like, the damage is obscene. Some really good clips there. And like Construct is, ooh, that is nice. The reason why I like this is because Construct actually lands now. But yeah, this shows like what subclassing can do. Because this thing is obscene. This is actually obscene. Let's queue for another one. The reason we go for the stamina, by the way, is increases our damage. That said, I think you might be on something, Reef. Use Chlorines and Torox. So, because obviously, if we put all magic, your damage scales off your higher resource, doesn't it? Exactly. See, so that's what I'm thinking. If I haven't used it, you are completely right that this is the only stam skill. Everything else is mag. So let's do that. That is a really good shout. Let's spend all my gold and change it into magicka. We didn't even have a glyph on this. Do you know that's really stupid? Because that a glyph adds like an extra 3-4k burst. Because it crits. So we're killing people without even a glyph on the build. That's actually like nuts. So what Reef is referring to, Vegas, is the way in which your skill scale, so the damage coefficient, yeah, they scale based on your highest max resource pool. So what he was saying is that if we, I need glass the eye. It's an eye, isn't it? Is it a drink? Is that a drink? What's the blue food that gives you magicka and health? Banana. Banana hash. Cheers, Reef. Yeah, what he was... That's a bit cheaper, isn't it? I'll take that. Thank you. What he was getting is that if you stack all your max resource into like one, you get more damage that way. So we've got all stamina, but actually we should probably get all magicka because that will give us more magicka to work with. We don't really need the stam sustain. And we need to buy a ton of magicka glyphs. Before, where's glyphs? I can't even see glyphs. Because they're not consumables, that's why. 1, 2, 3, 4. 20 seconds. I think we've got enough on us to do it. Yeah, because the heavy attack you get from the stand back. Also, I lose to Fighter's Guild passive, which I think is slightly better. Let's get our Magicka going. Oh, bugger. We've got an extra one, but that's fine. I didn't get a weapon damage glyph. I didn't do my attributes either. Do I have an attribute scroll on this? I don't think I do. I'm not buying one. What I need to do is I need to put all of this into Magicka. But yeah, we'll leave it like this for now. We'll see how much we lose. I think we'll lose a bit of damage. But having that extra mag pool is going to be nice. Mage Guild. I'll sort that after, okay? I will definitely take the damage, thank you very much. I just missed the speed. That was a good bomb by him there. Yeah, having the extra mag is way easier to use. Yeah, Fossilized is annoyed. Floppydopoulos. Yeah, I think moving the attributes over will make this easier to use because we've got loads of sustain for loads of stam sustain. Oh, literally just I went to go. There we go. I literally saved that guy's life, didn't I? Yeah, the extra Magicka, game changer. Absolute game changer. Doing that way round makes so much more sense. Because I've got stuff to work with then. The issue wasn't the sustain, the issue was I didn't have the resource pool to actually buff up enough. So that was a really good shout. That was cheers for that. Finish him. Oh, he dodged it. Let's go put on our buff. Let's see if he'll come out. I got him. Yeah, this is going a lot easier. Sometimes the heavy attacks don't want to fire though. I could even change it to Magical Soul, just use Shock and Soul. He blew up. Absolutely blew up. Ah, oh, look at that. So freaking stupid, isn't it? This is so much better. This is going to get nerfed 100%. That's him dead. Oh, there's that. I didn't even realize there's a big group here. They snuck behind me. Oh, we won. Yeah, that is so much better, that was. Yeah, let's put all our attributes into Magicka. And then do we... I think we changed the morph as well to Magic too, because we might as well just use that pull and just keep Stam as a move around bar. The damage scale is exactly the same. Because if we're only using the stamina just for... Well, literally, if we're only using it for damage, sort of like mobility rather than damage. Because all of our skills... Magic, 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 magic. Magic, magic. This is only stamina one. I did think about that. I would like some more sustain. Oh, my skill points are so low. They're so low. Obviously, Dark Deal converts magic into health and stamina, reduces the cost. Minor Berserk, we got that anyway though. Minor Force, we have that anyway. It's the heal's nice, but it pulls you out of stealth. So I'm probably going to pass on that one because I can still have enough for a roll dodge figure. I just need to... I'm actually really low on skill points now, which is quite annoying. I'm going to take that back. It's something I might add though. I'm not we're not using that, we don't need that. Dawnbreaker's pretty decent actually. We'll tweak that in a sec, they're decent. This is just a passive buff, that's why this is here. We'll drop those. Go for Mage Guild. I've not leveled up though, bugger. Yeah, because obviously I was thinking I suspect the Fighter's Guild would probably be more damage. Because of the Slayer. I think 3% damage might be more useful than the 7% max resource. I could be wrong. I think it'll be close either way. Let's change our Scribing thing. Reeve says, see if you can add inner light. I need to level it up. I will unlock it and put it on the bar and try it. The base Magicka. The base magic is 29,177, so you need to times it by, was it 1.07, and then work out what that difference is, and then divide that. Is every 10.5 Magicka is 1 weapon damage? So you then need to calculate what that difference is, like divide that by 10.5. I think it is. Disease is fun. Fire. Why is that higher? Are we going to fire damage? Because if they're a vampire, we do more damage as well. So, cost magic, might as well use that. The problem with the final vampire one, Odin, I know the one you mean, is you have to sprint. So you have to be doing this, and it's 1, 2, 3, now you're invisible. When you stop sprinting, you come out of invis. If you're sprinting, 1, 2, 3, and then you're invisible, you push a button, you can stop. So you can't use it to gank reliably. That's the problem. It's more of an escape tool. So I personally wouldn't go down that route. That's just me. And then you also have to deal with the no health regen, which isn't terrible. But the problem is though that you don't heal at all. So it's a little bit annoying. I want not the mage guild anyway. Just got the option. Because we need to level it up. Doesn't hurt to level it up, does it? You know, the damage is solid as it is. I need to buy a glyph. I keep forgetting. I'm just going to calculate it. So the inner light's worth 190 weapon damage. So the inner light is obviously better to use because of how high the base magicka is. What's my base weapon damage? Because obviously you've got to bear in mind that my base weapon damage will go up. It's 4.5k. 4.7. So when I pop out a stealth, 5,300. So you might need to, and then also factor in the other one. I thought, was the Fighter's Guild on the end though, wasn't it? This goes on the end, whereas the inner light goes on the end as well. I don't think they go to your base. I could be wrong. We are going to actually have a damage glyph this time. I find it mad though, like we were killing people so easily the last couple games and we didn't even have a glyph on this. Yeah, I think going the magical route though makes more sense. Just running around IC. That is cool. I like what done there. There's a lot of shenanigans going on Trifler. You got Shadow, Magic, Tome, Shattered, Darlock, Monomyth, Construct, Trainee, stacking Magicka this time round. So there's lots of like weirdness, but basically the build hits like a truck. It absolutely melts people. You will see in a second. This will probably be one of the last ones because it's gone midnight where I am. So I'll probably do this one, maybe one more. If you are interested in this, there is a like early access type thing on the channel already, which basically covers this build. The Sulk version Reef is way better. Like honestly, I can't stress how much better it is. Because the Sulk passives are designed for ganking, in my opinion. If you look at Storm Calling, Energize, this is 5% when it's maxed. Amplitude is 10%. So increase your damage against enemies by 1% for every 20% current health they have. When it's fully maxed, it's like it goes up to, I think it ends up being 10%. It does. So you end up getting 10% bonus damage. So that's 10% plus 5%, 15% damage there, plus loads of weapon and spell damage. On Assault, you would use Storm Calling and Dark Magic. They're the best two. And then you put on the Shadow to get the Cloak. Because the Dark Magic gives you this skill still, which is fantastic. The Storm Calling gives you access to Surge for healing if you want as your damage buff. So free healing, amazing. Bolt Escape, which can be Ball of Lightning as an escape tool. Streak into Ball of Lightning is disgusting. Yes, Storm Calling is better than Herald of the Tome. And the big thing is you've got Overload. Overload is a ranged ult. This stacks with Crystal Weapon. So it all combines to be just more damage, more sustain, which means you can go more speed. No, you can't take 2 Sorc lines as a Nightblade. You have to be a Sorc for that. The other advantage Sorc has is its class mastery is better because you get bonus damage on it. He is run very fast, isn't he? Let's get a nice sneaky bow. There's a lot of heals in that group. Yeah, you can see our regen's like really low. Oh, he had way more health than I thought. I didn't not realise he was a healer. See, the Sorc would have killed that because it has so much more damage. Defensive room for the win. just... I don't know why I went to that one. I went for this guy. Yeah, he's got 40k off. That would explain why he was so tanky. Yeah, my mag feels really bad. Like my mag regen feels really poor. Can't remember why it's so bad. He's literally rolled 3 times in a row. I feel like the mix was actually probably easier because I'm pulling more now from the mag. Having to sustain that, there's a lot of extra magic drain. Oh, almost had him. Yeah, I think I need to put this back to physical. The monomyth is nice. There's so much heal in that tanky dude. I wonder if it's because if I'm using the cloak, like it's not turning off. Yeah, the mag sustain feels really hard in this one. Like this match compared to last. Yeah, I want to change that back. I don't like that. Having the... Have a look at my sustain from combat metrics, which is quite useful. There's the graph. Looking for the... Is it combat log, this one? Do resource events. There's a way you can get the graph. the consumption, I'm just using like 800, yeah? As I go back a couple games. Like 300, 300, 300. So I think it was more manageable. It's not an issue of damage. Oh, almost blew him up in one go. I got him. I did get him. I think it's this. I think because with Darlock, yeah, I'm walking around with full stam. So that stam regen that I'm getting from Darlock isn't being used, if that makes sense. Let's try to get that damage birth. He blew up. He actually blew up. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I need the more sustain. I think it's finding the balance between having enough sustain There you go. Like, the damage is there. Like, considering how easy this is, we're not really doing much to get kills. I just think we need to... I think it's the issue with the scribe skill. It's pulling too much from our resource pool. So I'm going to change that back. Yeah, maybe we do something like maybe try food as well. Give us kind of that good balance between... I think putting the points into Magicka makes sense. So I'll try changing the scribe skill back. See if that makes a difference. I'll just use silver bolts. The other thing you can use if you want is crushing weapon, but it doesn't work with crystal weapon. So you are kind of really forced into silver bolts only. The damage is decent, it still hits hard. Because that's really cheap, that's 2k. But we'll try this before I move the attributes around, just to see, was it the skill that caused the issue? My feeling is yes. No, yeah, poison injection wouldn't work, in my opinion. The problem with poison injection is it's a damage over time. So the initial hit is too low. And when you even factor in the execute, it doesn't do enough compared to this. Odin's like, can't wait for the scribing. Scribing's amazing. It's a really good system. You can do contingency is fantastic. Heal. Well, I've got tenacity. That's meant to be this. How am I using that? I had the wrong thing on. I don't even know when we're changing that. That's like 2,000 damage you're missing. That is huge. This is like 3 damage. That's why I was buffing up all the time. If you look now, look. 11,500. Yeah. Pretty good. I'm going to put on fight as good because I don't have. That's going to take ages to level up, isn't it? Whereas this can actually benefit me now. But I think this is pretty much there. It's in a pretty good place. The damage is ridiculously good. I think what would help this is having a bit more speed. Though that's the one thing it's lacking compared to the old one. And what we can do, as we're going to try it, is this is lots of damage. This is a lot of damage. This is a lot of speed. So like, do we need that much damage? Is kind of what I'm wondering. Like, damage is always good. Yeah, because our magic is really high now. Is it 20% major force? I didn't think it was that high. It might be 20%. It is a big buff. The speed is so good, though. Look at the speed. Look at him go. He's living his real fantasy of Sonic. Look at him. He's like so quick. So quick. Well, you get the guaranteed crit from Cloak. That's the other thing that makes this more busted, by the way. Reef. Is because all your damage lands within the one tick. This is within the one, like the heavy attack. So this is with the heavy attack, as is this, as is your set. All of it combined, crits because of Cloak. So you get the guaranteed crit, which means your crit chances are 80% effectively. It was really high all of the time. I'll put the one back on. Look how slow he is. Look at him go. He is so slow. And what's silly is we're still using Darla Bray. Banner doesn't work anymore, Odin. They nerfed it. To be fair, I did say in the video this will get nerfed, and they did nerf it. So yeah, that's why we don't use Banner. Do we have any gold vampire food? No, I don't. The other option is Jaws of Misrule. We do lose a little bit of damage. We're going to be a bit squishier this match because our vampire will run out halfway through. But there's not much we can do about that. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. But yeah, I think this is a good kind of showcase of what the build does, isn't it? Like you've seen the first couple of matches is really good. Yeah, in the original version, I did have Swift 3 on this, and it did help on the when I was testing on PTS. I am thinking that I might have to go down that route. And I might probably just recreate them with the transmutes. That was so freaking slow. Our damage should be a bit higher as well now because of the Gladiator's Warrior's Opportunity. Look how slow you are. Instead of that saves a bunch of time, yeah, for sure. Dead. No, you don't. I did my heavy attack not fire, but oh, that did fire those, so that's fine. Oh, just buff up, thank you. Oh, I went to go for the kill. Yeah, Inspired Scholarship. It's a really good skill. It hits actually really hard, it does. Thank God you're here. It will save you so much time, honestly. Because getting the Cavalier's charge, I spent so much money on. I literally spent 1 million gold at it to buy it. Just because RNG was not on my side. Yeah, I'm going to put on the speed. I want to actually enjoy the build. I don't want to spend half my day trying to get to the fight. Oh, he's dead. I hate it when you get that. Oh, he's got corrosive up. Oh, almost got him. Let me buff up. I let my buffs drop off here. Pop. I do really like the heavy attack into crystal weapon though. That hits really hard, that does. Yeah, I think the speed's easier to use. Yeah. What? Never. I've ran out of resource. Yeah, the speed. I'd prefer the speed. I definitely say this is viable, which is all I can ask for, really. The Sulk is better. Like it is better. Being able to move around this fast is way better. Goodbye. Ah, the leap got me. I killed his friend. And it was the leap that took me, so I couldn't move. Hate leap. Leap's so annoying. What do you guys think? Do you think the speed is better with the Wild Hunt? Or do you think the Monomyth? Let me just get away, thank you. Yeah, the sustain's a lot easier. I want to go for the double heal. Yeah, I think changing the spammable to stamina, big difference in sustain, like just a massive difference. It feels like I can actually do stuff. Hit full wealth. He literally had full wealth. He blew up. Yeah, crystal weapon is way too good. Streak. Hate streak. Let me just move away, thank you. Love the damage buff. Yeah, the damage buff is like stupid with this. It's run out now. Let me just get back and sneak, thank you. You've had 20 kills so far. This feels better though. They come see me? I don't think they're gonna come down, are they? Almost got him there. There you go. Okay, yeah, this is good. 24-4. That is a really good showcasing of where this is at. I think having the more magicka, it made it easier to play. The stamina spammable was better because I could benefit more from Darlock. Yeah, we had some really good kills in that match. I think the Wild Hunt is more further Wild Hunt. Got like huge spikes. Healing, resolve. Like weapon was critting for 10k sometimes. It's obscene. It's actually obscene. Yeah, like here you can see our magicka regen was 900 and we had 942, so there's like very little difference, and same with the stam. As we go to the match before, I think it was. Yeah, this was it. Our regen was 500, but our drain was 1000. It might have even been this, I think it was this match. Yeah, I think it was this one, where the sustain felt absolutely awful. Because we were using things. Let's find where it says Fiery Soul. Sunder in. Fiery Soul. Yeah. That wasn't too bad. It drains up to 1000 already there. 1500 drain there, that's insane. 1100 drain. But yeah, I think that's where it was. That's where you can see that the drain, like, because it was peaking like 1500, it was really, really taking my magicka away, which obviously was not helpful. Stat sheet. The stat sheet, I'd need to get Vampire stage 3, but that would affect the stat sheet. Uh, 16k pen. We've got Major Breach as well, so we've got 22k pen. 30% crit. Obviously, when we flank, it's worth noting that we don't get those passives normally from assassination, so that won't make much difference there. But we obviously do get this crit that doesn't show until you get the crux in combat. So our crit chance, our crit damage actually is pretty decent. So where is it? Crit 42%. What I find is that the lover, from when I was testing in PvP, because it's slightly different to PvE, the lover ends up being more consistent damage, whereas the shadow is more peak. So you have the shadow, you basically would have, if you crit, you will do more damage, obviously. If you don't crit, you do less damage than the lover. And unless you can guarantee to crit like 50, 60, 70% of the fight, the lover's more consistent overall, so that's why I prefer that route. But you could obviously change this if you wish. It depends on your server. If people run Rally and Cry and stuff, you always need to note that the shadow will get nerfed more by Rally, because you know you're going to be doing so much less because of that crit chance, the crit reduction. Whereas it's better to bypass the armor first and then the crit is calculated afterwards. But yeah, I think this is a pretty solid setup. Don't know what you guys think of this. Would you like a video? Would you like me to make a video on this at some point? Yeah, Reef's saying exactly what I'm saying. That many hits don't crit. You can check in the, like you can see in the combat, it tells you it's a really useful bit here. So it says critical here, 52% crits. This was on a gank, so on the gank when we hit somebody perfectly, it's 80% crit because everything crits because of the cloak. If they don't die from the first hit, it then drops to like 40%, 48%, 58%, 32% even if it's a longer fight. 57, 50. When I did this on a Sorcerer, this was consistently like 70, 80% plus because it just hits harder. Like, it sounds silly, but this here, when you get an extra 3,000 on this, that makes this hit really freaking hard. So then obviously this then becomes like a 14k tooltip. Makes sense, you front load and damage depending from the chat. Yeah, literally that's it. We front load all of the damage to try and kill them as quick as we can. And it works. Like, you've seen it tonight. And this is like with the first iteration of this. I'm sure I can make this better. I do prefer Wild Hunt though. Haven't played it. It makes a big difference. I think the smart play though would be to run Monomyth and 3 Swift. Because what this will give you is the speed of Wild Hunt, which is nice. But it would give you more burst on your opening hit, which is what you need. Because you got the major force. You also get the protection as well, which gives you a bit more defense on the back bar. That's if you go 3. I'm going to probably try 2. Because you can see like 3 of those crits straight away. That troll's got 100k. I wonder how much damage you do to a troll. Like, if we... This is a cloak didn't turn off. That's a problem. That's a lot of damage, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm going to change the mythic, I think. So reconstruct this jewelry. The problem with Threads of War is I need to drop something. Shattered is really good. Really good. That's what gets our pen up so high. And obviously with the major breach from here, which is guaranteed, it's 22k pen. If this procs corner, which it does sometimes, 25k pen. If Cloak worked the old way, everybody have it on the bars. Maybe. I'm going to call it here as much as I want to do another one. I think it has been really useful. And I hope obviously you find it helpful yourself, but it's been useful like just chatting and talking through ideas. And I think we've got a better version of what we have. If you get any questions about the builds or stuff, let me know in the comments down below. If you want to chat, you know, sort of around the channel and stuff, I do have a Discord. That's easy, like it's the easiest place to get hold of me. So if you're like really going, oh, I need help with X or Y, the Discord is like quicker. It's on my phone. I'll put a link in the chat now. And then before I go, I will show you this. With the whole changes to the subclassing that you need to now level it up, which is tedious, not gonna lie, it is pretty tedious. I have made a video which is going to be coming onto the channel probably tomorrow in early access, and it'll be available like probably Tuesday, Wednesday next week. But my plan is to kind of give people the guide to that and also builds, so all of those things will come early in the next week or so for people, and then obviously if you're waiting, it will come public in about a week or 2. So if you are interested in that stuff, there's obviously like a YouTube and Patreon stuff. And then for it itself, this is what it looks like. So this would be like the class, but essentially I was able to get the skill line from level 1 to level 50 in 40 minutes consistently. So that's why I've got so many skill lines maxed already. So if you are interested in that, that will be coming in tomorrow in early access and then next week at some point. But I'm going to say a massive thanks. I'll catch you in the next video or stream. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.